Welcome to episode 123 of Timm Talk, the podcast about the DC animated universe, co-created by Bruce Timm. I'm Chris Lord.
I'm Cameron Dexter.
123.
1, 2, 3, baby.
That was fun.
Was it? I'm glad you enjoyed it.
The thought came to me as I was saying, like, oh, I should do something with this. That was the grand extent of the bit.
Do you want to take it from the top? We can have more fun next time.
Yeah, really?
No.
You're not here to have fun, Cameron? You're not super excited?
Not for the next, 11 weeks?
No, after this week, 10. It's 13 episodes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
I'm not here for fun for the next 10 episodes.
I feel like this show has forced us to switch personalities.
I'm so bitter.
Like you were always the high energy one of the two of us, and I was dry as fuck. And now I feel like I have to be the high energy one. I have to bring some sort of enthusiasm.
Yeah, because you
here.
can't do bad cop, bad cop. You have to do good cop, bad cop.
I was never born to be the good cop.
But I have forced that role upon you.
You are so upset by Zeta.
Is it so bad?
Is it just because like it's personally insulting to you because you love cartoons so much?
I think so.
And you watch them so regularly to be forced to watch what you dislike? Is it just slowly destroying your soul a little bit?
Yeah, that's a pretty good explanation.
So now you can imagine what would be like if you forced me to watch anime.
I don't think so, because the anime I would pick would be good shows.
I did try to watch My Hero Academia and I couldn't do it.
Yes, and now I know your taste. You don't like the classic anime style of humor. So I would give you shows that don't fall into that category.
Okay, such as?
FMA Brotherhood, it's a great one.
What,
Death Note.
FMA?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, okay.
An amazing show.
I've heard of Full Metal Alchemist. So.
Death Note is super dark.
I've actually heard that's great. I should watch that at some point.
Yes. Let's see, non-anime that doesn't have comedy. I'd be incredibly...
It can have comedy.
Well, yeah, I know, just that.
It just
not,
can't
that
do like
style.
the big like hyperbolic like big bug-eyed style thing.
Okay, then I would be very curious for you to watch an episode of JoJo. There's a show called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that's been going on since 1988.
Okay.
It has 5 iterations now.
Oh my
god!
God,
And it's basically like anime WWE. Like it's so over the top to such a level that like it pulls in the weirdest crowds.
Okay. Maybe.
I'd be curious just to like see you watch an episode of that.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
I mean there's plenty of other anime that I think you would enjoy.
We could do a whole series on Cameron makes Chris watch anime.
Mm-hmm. Do Ra 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 would be a great one.
Do Ra Ra Ra?
Do Ra Ra Ra.
Is it about cheerleaders?
No, surprisingly not. There is an anime about cheerleaders.
That
though.
feels like the center of your Venn diagram of interests.
Yeah, cheerleading anime.
An anime, yeah.
No, I don't remember the end. There was a cheerleading anime that lasted 12 episodes 2 years ago.
Only 12 episodes?
Yeah, surprisingly not a big. It was about an all male cheer squad.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had to throw that pillow away.
That's fine.
It was. I'm trying to get better about not like hitting my couch and pillows and stuff while we're conversing. So instead, I'm going to eat up time throwing them around the apartment.
That's fine.
Yes.
No, Do Ra 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 is is kind of a slice of life anime about a guy who moves into Tokyo.
Okay.
And dealing with just like atypical high schoolers in the area.
Okay.
But then one of them is a headless motorcycle rider who has a cat helmet. But that's not important.
Wait. Why, if he's headless, does he need a cat helmet?
Because he doesn't like showing people that he's headless. Or she doesn't like showing people that she's headless.
How does the helmet stay on?
Great question. Usually the answer is magic.
Okay.
Typically, that's the go-to answer for everything.
Okay. Maybe her head is a hard light construct, like Zeta is sometimes. And sometimes
Don't
he's not.
loop it back.
Wait.
I was in such a happy place for a minute.
Crashing back down. Well, here, let's at least have a little bit of happy time with some news.
Yes,
first.
please distract me.
Did you see that apparently Marvel has been in contact almost nonstop with Keanu Reeves for every single movie they've made so far?
Yeah, because they're jumping on the hype train. Keanu is at like peak Keanu right now.
We're getting like full on memes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I saw a great one. It was the like the Spider-Man cartoon of the two of them pointing at each other, but it's two Keanu's like, "You're beautiful." No, you're beautiful.
You're amazing. No, you're amazing. Yeah, because I mean, let's see. He just finished Parabellum. He's in Toy Story 4. He was on stage for E3. He just
Always Be My Maybe.
Always Be My Maybe, which I finally finished.
Oh yeah,
has a good ending.
Okay,
I will say that I stopped like the 30-minute mark left.
So like right at the end of Act 2.
Yeah.
Why would you stop there?
Because it fell into such tropes.
Okay.
I'm just like, I've seen all of this now.
Yeah.
But no, it does pick up for the last act.
Okay.
It's good. It's worth a watch.
Well, then also they keep putting out updates for Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yeah.
Like they recently announced the casting of the two daughters and the casting of the villain. I don't remember any of the names off the top of my head. I didn't write them down.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then I feel like he did some award show recently as well. But and this is all in the span of 3 months, maybe.
Oh, I'd say even less than that. It's been like basically since Parabellum came out, there was a big jump in it, and it's been holding through.
It's kind of like, hey Keanu, how about instead of doing press, you just make sure everything you're doing in the next year, this is early 2018,
mm-hmm.
like instead of doing press for John Wick, we're gonna have every project you do come out the same week.
Yes.
So the world can't not see you.
Yeah, he's just like the tip of the zeitgeist sword right now.
Yes.
And I'm all for it because I love me some Keanu.
Yeah, I know. He's such a humble kind of guy.
He is.
That he's a good person to look up to at the moment.
Yeah, because he's actually a legitimately good person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess they've been circling each other for a long time, but the right role hasn't really come along yet, or when he's really jumped towards. I read that, I guess it's been very similar for Jake Gyllenhaal too,
mm-hmm.
that it kind of took for the right moment for him to say yes. So given that, what role would you like to see the great Keanu Reeves play in Marvel?
Did you ever see Constantine?
I didn't.
Neither have I, and I kind of don't want to answer that until I watch Constantine.
Okay. I mean, I have read the comic upon which is based, the Hellblazer comic. I'm pretty sure it's called Dangerous Habits, which I kind of treat it as a one-off because I haven't read any of the rest of the stuff, as just a one-off story. Like, it is fucking amazing.
Okay.
Because the general idea is that Constantine realizes that he's going to die from lung cancer because he's a chronic smoker. So it's him trying to stop that from happening and the lengths that he'll go to, and it's just keeps getting more and more fucked up as you go along, and it's a fantastic story. And I've heard that the movie adapts elements of it. So
okay. Yeah, is it on DCIU? Is it on DCU?
I don't
sponsor this podcast, DC
so.
Universe.
I know, guys. Can you just send us some cheddar, please? Our whole show is kind of based around your existence.
Yeah,
except for this current 13-week period, because we're covering the one show that even you want nothing to do with.
It has to be on there, right, Constantine?
Not that I've noticed. Okay. I don't think they have any Vertigo stuff on there.
Interesting.
Because I mean, V for Vendetta's not on there. Watchmen's not on there. I don't think.
No, it's not. Yeah, they're just doing DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's out there somewhere. We'll do an episode on it.
I have one weird casting opportunity for Keanu. It's not Marvel though.
Okay.
How would you feel about him playing Etrigan?
Like Jason Blood?
Yes. Because he has that timeless look of him about him.
I think that could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's that famous painting that looks just like
exactly,
him.
Yeah.
And I know I've seen it. It's at I'm pretty sure it's at the Legion of Honor in San Francisco. I was there with some friends and I would walk by. I'm like,
is that Keanu Reeves?
I took a photo of it. It's still in my phone. Like, it's fucking Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
So I do like the idea of kind of playing up that notion a little bit of this kind of timeless person. I think that could work actually.
I think Etrigan. I think he could play a very weird, different Ghost Rider. It's kind of the same character as Constantine.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit too Nicolas Cage. Like, I think
that's just because that's what we think of.
Well, but they're very different actors, but they both have this sort of really distinct persona, and there's kind of a flightiness to Keanu Reeves' characters. I'm not saying that they're stupid. They're like actually really, really smart.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could get a little bit too close to that.
Okay.
What about if he played Mephisto?
Mephisto?
The devil. Marvel's version of the devil.
Okay. Yeah. Just anything that keeps him in a suit, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all we're pitching. It's just Keanu Reeves in a suit.
What about Doom? No, I don't think I like that.
I just don't know any like lesser Marvel heroes
I know.
off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't either.
What about Wolverine?
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Again, timeless. Yeah, I don't know, but I would love to hear people's thoughts on that. If you have a really good MCU Keanu casting, you let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is happening in terms of the world of movie news? Oh, a couple of trailers that I watched. I don't know if you saw them. There was this one weird one called Ready or Not.
No.
So I found it on Geek Tyrant because usually they'll just put up random kind of like genre trailers, and I watched it. So the plot is this woman is marrying into a really wealthy old money family, and they made their money doing board games. And so as part of the wedding ceremony, like her initiation to the family is they're going to play a game of hide and seek. Mm-hmm. But if it turns out that if they find her, they'll kill her because they think it like they have to kill her to like prevent some sort of like it's like a ritual sacrifice sort of scenario. But if she survives the night, then she's officially part of the family. It looks really, really weird. And I'm trying to remember, is it Andy McDowell might be in there?
Adam Brody.
Okay, Adam Brody's in there, Andy McDowell. Like, there's some kind of like names.
Oh yeah, sorry, it is Andy McDowell. Yeah.
Not big names in there. But I just watched the trailer. It looks really weird and quirky and fun and kind of darkly funny.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's being pitched as a horror.
Yeah, it's like a horror comedy. So I'll throw it down the show notes. The trailer. Go watch it. It's kind of a weird one. I'm just curious if you've seen it or not.
I'll check that out.
Did you watch the latest trailer for The Boys?
I did.
That show looks so damn fun.
Really good. I'm excited.
It helps that they end it with Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Because goddamn it, I do love me some Spice Girls. Mm-hmm. But I even love his like motivational speech about how it's like, oh, what's Sporty Spice up to these days? Oh, what? Nothing. That's right.
Because she's page 3, motherfucker.
Exactly. If you're not a team, you're nothing. It's like the
teams make page 1.
It's like the worst motivational speech, and it's coming from Carl Urban, which makes it that much better. But it's also like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, are you sad you didn't get the comedian in Watchmen? What if we had 5 comedians?
Yeah, because the idea is that heroes exist in this world, but they're
assholes.
They're a little bit out of control. It's almost kind of like mystery men in that sense of like they're not really held to accountability and they're super pompous. Mm-hmm. And so the Boys is this team. I mean, they're kind of Suicide Squad-esque, but essentially this team that will actually go and put the heroes in their place as needed. And I'm like, yeah, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And every subsequent trailer I've watched for it's got me more and more excited. But I think
that's
fantastic.
Right after Comic-Con, right? So I'm sure. I think it's like the 28th or 27th or 26th.
Of July. That sounds right.
Yeah. So that's probably going to be the preview because Comic-Con is a month away now, less than a month away.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, so news is going to be very slow for the next probably 3 weeks, and
nothing's
really
ramp up. Really gonna come out until that happens.
But I bet that's going to be the Wednesday night preview is The Boys.
Oh, probably. I'm trying to track it down now. I feel like it was something someone posted on the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group, but it was basically pointing out that Carl Urban is this like low-key geek god.
Yeah.
Because I forget his character, but he was in Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Bones in Star Trek.
Yep.
Great performance as Judge Dredd in Dredd. Mm-hmm. Totally underappreciated comic book movie. You've seen it?
No, I own it.
It's really good. I mean,
I know.
It's like the problem is it came out around the same time as The Raid, and it was kind of one of those like Armageddon, Deep Impact, Olympus Has Fallen, White House Down situations.
Well, it was 2011, right? Earlier than that?
2012, 2013.
Okay, so it was right around Avengers coming out.
I think kind of around there too. And it had the problem of coming out very close behind The Raid, and so it felt like it was a ripoff, but obviously they were just developed at the same time and it's coincidence. Because the same idea is that he's like trapped inside this tower. But it's really, really good. So Alex Garland wrote it. Alex Garland, also the writer of Ex Machina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, did he direct it too, maybe? I mean, honestly, it's really, really good. Lena Headey, a.k.a. Cersei from Game of Thrones, is a villain in it too, and she's fantastic. But no, I mean, he had a great turn in that. And then this meme was also pointing out he's like all these other random kind of comic movie roles. Also, apparently, he's dating Katie Sackhoff, who was Starbuck on the Battlestar Galactica reboot. So, like, even in real life, he's like geek icon Carl Urban.
Well, because we have another podcast idea that we'll be talking about later.
Oh, yeah.
Where we had a lengthy conversation
That's
about
where
him.
we did, yeah.
Yes. So you'll hear more about him in a bit.
Yes.
Probably around Comic-Con since I won't be here to record.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. We'll figure that in time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make that happen. But yeah, I mean, God,
I'm forcing plans on you on air so you can't.
No, I mean,
so you can't avoid them unless you just cut this out of the
exactly.
podcast.
I'm gonna have control of the edit. So
Yeah. Damn it! When did I make this?
I know.
When did I sign this deal?
I mean, yeah, I get final say to all these things.
Yeah.
No, whatever this was, I'll leave it.
Damn you, Spielberg!
What?
Didn't he have final edit?
I mean, probably most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, wait. Okay, very obscure place to go with that,
Yeah.
but sure.
I was thinking of directors that like always had final say over the edit.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been
Matt and Trey Stone Parker.
Matt Parker at Trey Stone.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's just move on here. I think you've talked yourself into a hole. I did have a bit of Endgame box office update here.
Yeah, they're really fighting.
So recently Marvel came out and said they're going to re-release the film in theaters with extra footage. Now, mind you, that extra footage is going to be like, I think, a couple deleted scenes and probably a Far From Home tease. And it's all going to happen like after the credits. It's not part of the actual.
Oh, that's dumb.
It's not woven into the movie. They're not going to recut the movie.
So I can just buy a ticket, wait 3 hours, and then walk in?
I think so,
See the
yeah,
extra
basically.
footage?
But I mean, people are kind of suggesting that this is essentially just a way
Oh,
to...
100% it is.
Yeah.
Because they're what, like 20 million off? Like they're close.
So they're closing in on Avatar. So basically the article I read today was saying that people seem to forget that with Avatar, it had its own re-release called Avatar Special Edition, which had additional 9 minutes of footage and netted an additional 33 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is pretty crazy to think about it. 33 million for just 9 minutes of footage.
Do you remember the craze around... People were killing themselves after that movie because they were so... No, that was Inception. Never mind. Remember people killed themselves after Inception because they
Nope.
thought... Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 articles about that.
Because they thought they were inside a dream?
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Right? I mean, I don't want to say, Darwinism at its finest.
I mean, we have so many systems in place now that limit proper Darwinism that I'm glad that it still manifests itself in a few ways here and there.
I just learned about, the balloon guy. What's his name? In the 1980s, there was a guy. They just did it on Drunk History. Lawnmower Larry or something like that.
Oh,
Lawn Chair Larry.
Lawn Chair Larry. This sounds familiar.
Yeah. In the early 80s, he tied a bunch of weather balloons to a lawn chair because he wanted to fly. He couldn't. He had something wrong with his eyes, so he could never be a pilot. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't going to stop him from flying. So he attached a bunch of weather balloons to a lawn chair, had a BB gun in his lap, and he was going to fly. I don't remember where he was going, but he had like a set place in mind.
Yeah.
The problem is weather balloons just go straight up.
Yeah, they keep going.
Yeah. So he made what they don't say in the Drunk History thing, which I saw in another, because I was very interested. I watched a bunch of videos about him. He had vision problems. He lost his glasses in the first 30 feet of ascension.
How?
They were sitting on his lap, and he just like jostled, and they fell.
Okay, Lawn Chair Larry sounded pretty dumb.
Oh, he's so dumb. There's also a whole movie about it, and it's so funny.
What?
Yeah, it came out in like 2003 or 4. Look up Lawn Chair Larry movie, because it also has another dumb name like that. And the female... Oh, it's Aunt Zelda from the newest Sabrina story. She plays the love interest.
Danny Deckchair?
Yes, Danny Deckchair. Yeah, so
Wait, this is...
It's based off a real story.
It's Risa Fons is in it. Miranda Otto. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of. What?
Yeah. So the guy makes it to a certain height. He's on level with airplanes. He's floating up in this lawn chair by himself. He told his girlfriend and his, I think, brother-in-law to call the airport traffic. Be like, hey, I'm going to be flying in this airspace. Don't send any planes. They didn't call, so he almost got hit by a plane. He has a BB gun in his lap, so when he needs to start descending, he can. So he shoots down 2 balloons and drops the BB gun.
I do love that they've changed it to be Australian,
Yeah.
which I think makes that whole story better. I also feel like that idea sounds like something an Australian
Very much so.
would do. I'm kind of sad that wasn't the original case.
No, it's American. I'm through and through.
God damn it. Okay, guys, well, go watch Danny Deck Chair.
Yeah, or just the Drunk History version of Lawn Chair Larry, because Colin Hanks plays the titular character.
Oh my god, I love Colin Hanks so much,
and he's so on board with Drunk History. This is probably his 7th or 8th main character.
Did you ever watch the show the Good Guys? It ran for 1 season, I'm pretty sure, on Fox. So he plays I think it's Dallas, like, detective who is very much kind of uptight, by the book, straight laced, and his partner is played by Bradley Whitford.
How is that again?
So a lot of people know him as the bad guy from Billy Madison. But he also...
I just started West Wing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's in the West Wing. I mean, like,
that's a fucking great pilot. Holy shit!
I have actually never seen it. I need to go watch it.
Wow, that pilot is perfection.
I mean, it's Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah,
like Aaron Sorkin, crazy coked out, insane person, but a brilliant fucking writer.
I don't think I've ever seen a pilot that perfect before.
Okay, all right. Well, guys, go watch.
Yeah,
go watch The West Wing too. But and also go watch the show The Good Guys. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix anymore. That's where I watch it. But it ran for 1 season. It's so funny because Bradley Whitford's character is this like kind of like old fashioned like 1970s mustache, like drives around in, I think it's like a Trans Am sort of like old fashioned kind of cop.
Yeah.
And it's a typical plot setup, but it's honestly really, really funny.
Is that what the movie is based off of? It's not really.
The Other Guys is what you're thinking of?
No.
There's a movie called The Good Guys?
Yeah, wasn't that Shane Black directed? Ryan Gosling and
was that called The Good Guys? Was the show called something else then? Have I confused myself?
Yeah, because
no, okay, The Good Guys is the TV show, but it's not the movie.
The Nice Guys is what I'm thinking of. Damn it! Yeah, there's the other
close.
guys and
so
the
close.
nice guys.
The other guys, the nice guys, the good guys.
Yeah,
the cable guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like these are all just people in Boston.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or Dallas. Or one of those
Hey
places.
now. I'm from Dallas.
Yeah, that's what The Good Guys is set.
I know. It's based off my life.
You're the crazy, reckless, out of control, loose cannon cop.
Oh, you know me.
Oh, does that make me Colin Hanks?
Sure.
I'll take it. Loved Colin Hanks.
Yes.
I don't know. You got any other news?
Did you see the very, very short bit of news? The petition that the crazy religious groups are trying to get Good Omens off of Netflix.
Yes.
Not realizing
there's a Christian group petitioning Netflix to pull off the air Good Omens, even though it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, and Amazon tweeted at Netflix like, "Hey, we'll pull off Stranger Things if you pull off Good Omens."
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, don't you love it when corporations have little inside jokes together like that?
I do.
Yeah, it's almost like they're people.
It's especially when I know how many layers of people it has to go through before it gets,
How many levels of approval? Yeah.
The
legal team between Amazon and Netflix already had a week-long exchange before they get the approval.
Oh, I'm sure, because that was, I think, a day later, and I'm sure they saw that tweet and immediately went in to tweet.
Yeah, the PR department was on it.
Yeah, and it took a full day to get just the level of approvals needed.
Oh, but it's a beautiful thing.
Isn't it?
Corporate synergy.
Yeah.
Oh, the future looks bright, guys.
Oh, it's so bright.
It certainly looks brighter than the future of Zeta Project.
Oh, let's do it.
I did have look at that forced segue right there.
I had one sparkle of joy when watching this episode, because I didn't realize it last week. But the voice of Bucky, at least for season 1, because we found out
he's in a lot of episodes.
Favorite boy's coming back for season 2. Bucky's voiced by Twister from Rocket Power.
Yes,
and we talked about this. That's a show that we both really love, but has no connection to anything else we talk about. So we've never been able to make a good tangent towards Rocket Power.
Yeah, it's one of the few Nicktoons we've never really covered, because we've talked about basically everything else. But
There's a lot we haven't.
I mean, to be fair, you and I find a way to talk about tangents that have nothing to do with anything else. We just had a 5-minute conversation about fucking Lawn Chair Larry.
Yes. I got to push Angela Anaconda this morning at work.
What the sweet hell is that?
Angela Anaconda was a show that came out in, I want to say 1998, 1999, parallel to Kablam, that had a very, very, very specific art style. Yeah.
It almost looks South Park-esque.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a human face, black and white face, and then almost what's the word? Like construction paper clippings for the rest of her body. It was a very weird show, but a beautiful art style.
Why were you talking about this?
We were sharing personal art across the company this morning, and one of the guys is like, "Hey, I'm practicing this new style." Where it was a very grayscale character with bright colors with bright patches of color around it. And I'm like, "Oh, it's Angela Anaconda."
And did anyone else know that reference?
He did.
Well,
no one else in the company did.
Hey, at least he got it.
Yeah.
At least you had one. That's all you need is one.
I just need one.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I have a friend back home, Daniel. I don't think he listens to this, but if he does, Daniel, hello, love you. But I love it because he and my other friend Alec, like those two always get my most obscure references. Mm-hmm. Like Daniel's in my phone is a picture of Phyllis Diller because I once made a Phyllis Diller joke and he was the only person in the room that got it.
Good.
Sometimes you just need that one.
You just need the one.
Need the one.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for someone so I can talk Super Duper Sumos with.
I'm not taking the bait.
But Cameron, what's Super Duper Sumos?
I've already done that. I've done that like 3 times already this episode. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm forcing you to talk about fucking Zeta.
That's
all right,
fine. I've already talked about Super Duper Sumos on this podcast.
I'm sure you have. Also, so it's funny you mentioned like Bucky and how this episode starts off. My first note was this shit again.
Yes.
Although I have to admit, I liked this episode. Like this is.
How dare you?
The only episode that I think I can genuinely say I've enjoyed so far of this show. Like I think this is on par with like a third tier Superman episode.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Like there's actual stakes, actual fun stuff's going on. Okay, so to explain real quick, so this episode, like Bucky's back. He's being a little shit again.
Yeah, Dr. Tanner's gone.
Yes. And replaced by some other random person who I don't know if they even have a name.
They don't name her.
But Bucky's bored, so he starts browsing the net, and he's checking his usual sites, one of which is just the NSA.
Yeah.
And while he's there, he discovers that there's a new version of Zeta, a new infiltration robot called the IU-7. Mm-hmm. And so he decides, I'm going to go, like, control that robot, like, go steal that robot, control it, so I can, show everyone else who I work with that I'm supposed to be taken seriously.
Yes, because he clearly did not learn a single lesson from the last episode.
Didn't learn a single thing from last time. And also, he's even more of a sociopath.
Yes.
Like, he is actively...
Because he saw he could get away with it.
Yeah. Because last time, his goal was to basically prove that Dr. Tanner was a fraud.
Yes, he had motive.
Yeah, and at least that's like... I'm not going to call that noble intent, but it's not malicious intent. This time, he wants to go get a killer robot to try and prove that he's...
like the smartest.
Like, worthy of respect.
Yes.
So he's a fucking psychopath.
Yes.
So he decides he's going to do that at the same time that while Zeta's plugged into Zeta's internet cafe.
Also hacking the NSA.
Yeah, he's just like casually hacking the NSA on an internet cafe computer.
Here's my thing. Just a quick little bump. I'm going to have a lot of these in this episode.
Please.
I understand that Zeta can hack the NSA. That's fine because he was built by them. He has all the access codes. Blah 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 blah.
Yes.
At least for Bucky, have them be a branch of the NSA. Like make it so
like a government think tank sort of thing.
Yes. So when he's quote unquote hacking them so easily, where he just has the fucking saved password.
He just has it on autofill.
Yeah, that's honestly what it felt like.
Also, hang on, I need to try and retrieve my coaster.
Okay.
I'm now just like stuck with this very drippy water cup.
All right, I'll keep talking.
Please do. Just fill the time. Fill the space.
Yeah, I think it would make a lot more sense if Bucky was just like worked for the government already as, very, very low tier. And so then it would make a lot more sense when he can just casually hack in because he's already part of it.
Yeah. More importantly, I got my coaster back.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yes, you did not do that quietly.
Why bother? Again, I control the edit.
You control the edit.
I'm lazy.
And you get to be the one that has to try and cut that out.
I know. But no, I agree with you. That would make more sense if that's what he was a branch of. Because also, it would fit within this world because, as we well established, everyone in Zeta is terrible at their job.
Yes.
So it would
such a. I mean, that's the whole plot of the next episode.
Yes,
and it's that. We're gonna get to it.
We'll get to it. But
man.
So while Zeta is hacking into the NSA, he discovers the same thing. There's this other infiltration unit, and that it is going down to a place called San Pelago.
Yes.
To kill a man called Roland de Flores, aka
also known as the Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death.
Yes. Is that the most overused tagline?
I mean, according to Tony Stark, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So might as well go for it. But Zeta decides he's got to save this guy, even though he's an arms dealer.
Yeah, because he's just gonna have him turn himself in.
Yeah,
out of the compassion of his heart, he's gonna find the error of his ways,
which is a little bit silly. But basically, he and Ro are gonna take a flight, but Bucky has blocked their tickets. Oh, God, so he basically convinced them, like, you bring me along so I can try and capture this robot, and I will let you guys get on the plane. So they say yes, and they immediately steal his controller so he can't do anything.
Hey, Ro, what do you know? You can just grab the fucking thing from his hand.
From him, right?
I'm glad, I'm glad we're seeing some character development, Chris.
We are. See, she learns. He doesn't, but she learns.
She learns that she can overpower a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her.
Well, because he has I'm not going to call it a great moment, but it was a clever little play on words. He's like, oh, there's so many concepts you can't grasp. She's like, oh, really? Well, I can grasp this. And she just steals it away from him. Finally, she learned.
Yes. About fucking time.
But so they go there. Zeta melts Bucky's shoes to the
deck.
The pier that they land on. Eventually, he just like breaks through and comes and finds them.
Why didn't it take the shoes off?
Yeah, that also would have worked as well. But then you don't get that.
He's a fucking genius, Chris. They play up his geniusness to such a degree in his 2 appearances so far.
Well, as we've established in this universe, college is so inaccessible that everyone is dumber.
Does this exist in the same universe as Idiocracy?
I was just going to say that.
Okay.
Actually, I was just going to say that. I think this is a precursor because Idiocracy is set like, what, a few hundred years into the future?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just on its way there. This is a transitionary phase.
It's a very quick transition.
Yeah, it's a steep decline.
Yeah.
But also, let's be honest, given...
They plateaued pretty quick.
Given the level of stupidity we're seeing now, it's not unreasonable to think that 20 years down the line, we're going to have situations like this.
Yeah.
We're well on our way.
Oh my gosh.
But so they're in San Poblano, and Zeta very clumsily breaks into the place and goes to Flores, right? And it's like, hey, turn yourself in. He's like, nah, I'm cool, brah. Let's not do that.
Like, why would I? I'm a fucking arms dealer.
Yeah, honestly, like, but why would he? Like, what reason does he have to do that? He's living in a, well, frankly, pretty
small place.
Pretty Spartan, like,
it honestly looks like
island.
a fortified farm.
Like, I thought this was going to be, like, the end of Bad Boys 2, and they go down to Cuba, and they go to that just massive fucking mansion. Like, that's what I was expecting. Yeah. That's not this at all.
No. It's so tiny. It's almost like they forgot to draw the house and just drew, like, the side houses.
Yeah, it's basically just a series of, like, guard sheds.
Yes. It's very unimpressive.
I mean, I think what happened there is that Flores spent all of his money on security robots that we never see again.
Right.
And then also hover yachts, which apparently is a thing that exists in this world because Bucky tracks this guy by looking for shipments to that island.
Yeah, because I think most of this episode they forgot that it's the future.
Yes.
And then they're like, oh, fuck, how do we make this sound futuristic? It floats. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's a hover yacht. Flores doesn't even have a hover yacht.
No.
He's got just a normal boring yacht. What's even the point?
I know.
Like, that's not even a status symbol at that point. You know?
Maybe here's my...
basically a dinghy.
Here's my idea. Right before they get there, Flores is very distraught because he just had a horrible breakup with his ex.
Okay.
Yes, his ex-wife took everything from him.
Except for their daughter.
Except for the daughter. Well, that's where she's going. The daughter's going to their mother's place.
Oh, okay.
And so she has the super nice villa that's just out of frame. She's got the super nice villa. She's got all the hover yachts, all the nice things. And he's still like he still has to make all the money. And so he's still like he's basically staying in the servants' quarters.
Yeah. So in other words, Flores and his ex-wife have a sitcom scenario going on here.
Yes.
Where she took a vast majority of his money in the divorce.
Mm-hmm. He did not sign a prenup of any kind.
Well, not only did he not sign a prenup, but she basically just blackmailed him into giving up everything. She's like, look, if we really want to make a legal stink about this, everyone will find out what you're doing. So I'm just going to take all this money. I'm going to build this massive fucking compound in San Poblano next to your tiny little shed. Mm-hmm. Is it Poblano? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Next to your tiny little shed.
That was their house before. It's not that she built it. That was where he was living.
She took the house, and now he's just living in like the guard sheds off to the side.
Mm-hmm. And I bet she's the one that put his name, told the government where he is to send the robot. Because she wants the she's so petty. She's like, I'm not taking 99%. I'm taking fucking 100% of your money. You're not taking a fucking shed. That's mine.
Yeah. Also, he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves this.
Are you surprised he's an arms dealer?
I mean, sometimes arms dealers can be kind of cool. Have you seen Lord of War?
I was just about to bring that up.
That's a great film.
That's all right.
It's a great film. What?
It wasn't for me.
What?
I know. I'm sorry.
You have terrible taste. It's well established, though. What was I saying? Oh, but then, so the Zeta breaks in, and then the IU-7 breaks in a more effective manner. A fight ensues. It seems like IU-7 is...
Oh, my God. This is one of the things. The episode ended. The episode was over, and they're like, oh, shit, we still have 5 more minutes to fill.
Yeah.
Bucky fucks up.
Yeah, that's true, because they succeed. They basically stop the assassination from happening, and then Bucky decides
to turn him back on.
Yes.
Because the robot's down.
Yeah.
The robot's down and out. And Bucky's like, no, I still want it.
I still need this thing.
So he turns it back on. And does not have control over him with his stupid toy.
No.
And so then another fight ensues.
But then he's able to gain control of a giant crane.
Yeah.
And then it seems like IU-7 is destroyed because he crashes into a bunch of crates labeled explosives.
Yes.
Just in case you couldn't figure out what was happening. But don't worry, he's still alive. Mm-hmm. And now his programming's messed up and he thinks that Zeta is his target.
Wow.
So now we got a nice Terminator scenario happening here.
Yeah.
With robot hunting robot.
You know what really makes me miss? Old Archer.
Oh, with Barry?
Yeah, this feels very much like a E tier Barry.
Yeah. Have you watched the new season? I haven't watched it yet either.
I'm like 4 seasons back on Archer.
I'm gonna be honest.
The last episode I saw was him getting shot in the pool.
Oh,
I'm that far back.
Yes, that was the pilot of the Noir season. Mm-hmm. No, was that? No, sorry, no. The Noir season happened after that.
This was
the LA
Vice.
season. Yeah, it was after Vice. They did a season down in LA. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that opens up with that homage to Sunset Boulevard with him in the pool.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then since then he's been in a coma, and like every one of them has been a dream sequence. So first it was Dreamland, which was like the 1940s set LA one, and then there was Danger Island, which actually had its moments. It was kind of fun. And this new one is kind of riffing on Alien and Space 1999 and stuff like that. I don't know, it's entertaining. I mean, it's still a fun show. It's not at its peak.
Yeah.
But it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than this.
It is better than this. Okay, but, again, we try and find things to talk about other than just how shitty the show is. So I've been trying to compile a list of the things we've learned about this universe, about this future.
Everyone's so dumb.
One, everyone's super dumb. We learned that there's a thing called Ultra Jazz, which was being advertised in the background of the internet cafe.
Okay, I missed that.
What do you think Ultra Jazz is?
It's a rival genre to jizz music
from Star Wars.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know, the Cantina band from A New Hope, the one's like that thing.
Yeah, I don't know yet. It's still not coming to me. Oh no, I got it. That one. All right, we got it. You're so off pitch, it hurts.
I have no musical talent.
Neither do I.
But that musical genre is called jizz.
Yes.
And it's specialized by fingering Dan and the modal nodes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The things I know about Star Wars.
I had just looked it up on Saturday. Because we didn't get into the cantina, which was very upsetting.
Oh.
But it's probably for the best with the group I was with.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wait, you've been to the cantina, what, 3 times?
Just once.
Just once?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I haven't made it in. Saturday was messy.
Yeah.
In Star Wars. Star Wars Land is officially open for anyone in the western side of America if you want to take the trek over.
Well, I mean, anywhere in the world you can make the trek over.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But don't get in my way.
That is a genuine threat.
I will run you over.
Actually, he will. Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
Yes, Star Wars Land is open, and everyone should go check it out because it's fucking amazing.
It is. It's absolutely spectacular. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Ultra Jazz. Yeah, it's like just like super synthy.
Yeah, it's they brought back the contents of Kenny G. And it's just like the next level of smooth jazz.
I saw this this great meme.
Robot Kenny G. Oh my gosh.
Does the robot still have the crazy hair?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not hair. It's all just like what's the it's all just like springs.
Oh my god, just coiled springs.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of like that movie Robots.
The 2004 DreamWorks one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they gave their characters like I think didn't even the Rob Williams character have like a wig on at some point and it was made of springs?
I honestly don't remember a single thing about that movie.
How could you not remember
except when he wakes up and they have like they fly through the city in balls, right? That are just launched from base to base.
Yeah. Like they're just like sprint. Yeah, it's like it's like this like spiral metal ball things are super popular at that time.
Mm-hmm. That's my entire memory of that movie.
I was trying to track it down, but someone sent me something recently, and I'm pretty sure it was the Change My Mind guy.
Yeah,
and it was jazz is just an excuse for people to play the wrong note.
Yeah,
change my mind. But so we have Ultra Jazz.
I found out who that guy is, and apparently he's just a big old asshole.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He's the guy that got in a fight with the Vox guy recently.
Oh, it's that guy?
Yeah. And that kind of ruined that meme a little bit.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I can't use that meme anymore. Mm-hmm. I haven't really used it, but I can't support it anymore.
One of his videos popped up on my recommended, and I was very offended.
As you should be. Mm-hmm. Which just goes to show what a terrible YouTube algorithm they have. Okay, but so we have Ultra Jazz. We learned a lot about how air travel works in this future.
Yeah, it's no different than it is now.
No, it's very different than it is now. Because it's basically the way it was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, this is air travel pre 9/11.
Oh, and I meant in the fact of like, everyone gets really mad very easily.
Well, there's that.
And the people at the counters. I mean, I will say, most of the time when I'm in an airport, the person working the counter is very nice.
Yeah, very helpful, very lovely. It's usually the customers that are the worst part of the whole thing.
That's very true. And that's the situation of this one as well.
Yeah.
The lady's just trying to do her best.
She's just trying to do her
job.
And
just immediately,
some 7-year-old asshole is fucking with her system.
Yeah. And within 30 seconds of them standing in line, a mob forms.
Well, you know how that happens. Everyone just, shows up at the same time.
I was going to say, that is actually pretty realistic for LAX.
Yeah.
Like, you could be the only one in line and then turn around 20 seconds later and see 45 people.
Yeah. Because LAX is the worst.
It's the worst.
But, so, yeah, I mean, this is still pre 9/11 airport system, right? So like you can walk up to the gate
and buy a ticket
and then try and buy a ticket the day of without really needing a reservation. You can also tell it's pre 9/11 because someone is completely fucking with their system and there is no sort of like big security threat protocol or panic going on. No one's worried at all the airlines getting sabotaged. Also, we learned that there's a thing called Moose Air, which is clearly the future version of Air Canada.
Yes.
And I am here for it.
Mm-hmm. Have you flown Air Canada?
It's not important. I haven't, actually. Have you?
I think no. I've flown Alaska. I've never flown.
Okay,
Canada.
I've never been to Canada.
Neither have I.
Never been to Canada. I've been to Mexico.
Really, I've been to
No.
Mexico.
Yeah, my first time out of the country was actually Australia.
It's a good one to go to.
It was a great way to go, but it's like the first time I go out of the country, it's the opposite side of the world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna have a flight as long, so you kind of got that set.
That is true. That is still the longest flight I've ever been on. It's a 14-hour flight. I've done 2 11-hour flights back to back, which is heinous.
Oh, I'm sure.
But that's neither here nor there. That's yet another tangent. And we've already covered hovered yachts. So
Yes.
But there were a couple noteworthy things I found about this episode, though.
Okay, what are your noteworthy things?
Did you recognize the voice of the Merchant of Death?
No.
Well, as someone who has only seen Phantasm once,
Twice.
you would be less likely to recognize the voice actor, just the general actor, Stacy Keach, the voice of Carl Beaumont, aka Phantasm.
Yes.
That's it. It's Stacy Keach.
Okay.
He's back.
Nice.
Yes. Big downgrade from previous roles.
Yeah.
The other noteworthy thing, this episode didn't have that weird little tag at the end.
It didn't. I did notice that.
And I thought maybe that this was the beginning of the end for that, as
we
Maddie
could
had
only
told
wish.
us was going to happen, but maybe it actually does hold off till season 2 because we get another one in the next episode.
Yes.
So, okay. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes. And then I want to talk about how I would make this episode better.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah. No, ask a question first.
Okay. We have 2 infiltration robots here. We have Zeta, we have IU-7. Based on what we've learned about each of them so far,
Why do they have different naming conventions? That's a great question, Chris.
I mean, Zeta's the last one.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. Because Zeta is the 5th.
Yeah.
Because Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega.
Sure. You Greek piece of shit.
I was in a fraternity.
You frat asshole.
I was in a business fraternity
frat hole.
that barely even counts as
still
a real
counts.
fraternity.
Still counts.
Our version of hazing was having to do fundraising.
Yeah, it still counts.
I mean, it was basically just a drinking club where we also wore business like attire and suits, but we never actually wore suits. I was very disappointed in the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
But
That's very upsetting.
I did technically live in a frat house for 2 years.
Yes.
But I ruined the frat house
hole.
element of it by basically refusing to ever let the fraternity come over and party at the house. And all I ever did was have my nerdy engineer and business school friends come over and we play beer pong in the garage.
What is your question about this episode?
Right, that was the thing. Who's a better infiltration robot? Based on what we've learned, who do you think is better at their
Zeta,
quote-unquote job?
100%.
I disagree.
Do you?
Yes.
Because he got caught, IO7 got caught immediately.
Yes, but Zeta had to ask random strangers how to find this guy.
Because he didn't have... So did the robot. The robot breaks out of the shed and goes, hey, where is so-and-so? He has the fucking power of the government behind him still.
Yeah, but he
does. It's the same thing. He asked the same guy.
He threatens, though.
Yeah. But we know that Zeta is doing his best to be a pacifist.
Okay, I'm going to admit, when I made that note, I forgot that scene where IU-7...
I specifically put a note in that IO7, who already has his programming, do they only program him to go that far?
I mean, both of them have terrible programming.
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, IU-7 does have things working against him. He's much bigger, but yet somehow still is able to disguise himself
Right.
as, like, children. He does have more weapons.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zeta got rid of all of his.
This is true. Damn it. Okay.
So this actually leads into how I would have changed the episode.
Okay.
To add more conflict between the two robots, don't make IO something 7 the new
IU-7.
IU-7. Don't make him the new model. Make him the previous model with upgrades. And since you have a robot that kind of has a conscience,
so he'd be Delta?
Sure.
Yeah.
So now he's the former model. Now he has to prove himself better than Zeta.
But okay, so
he was a former model, got all the upgrades to quote unquote be better than Zeta. That's what the government told the robot.
Yeah.
Is you will now be better than him.
Okay, I kind of like this idea because I like the idea of a robot.
And he also looks, because Zeta looks so sleek.
That's
which
true.
is it hurts me to say that.
Yeah.
Because Zeta is an ugly motherfucker.
Well, I mean, this is kind of it's like, what is it, Ed 209 RoboCop situation going
Yes.
on here?
Sure.
You never seen RoboCop?
very, very, very long time ago.
Okay, but do you remember like the big,
the
big walker looking thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's called Ed 209.
At 209.
Oh my god, how is that joke? I've never. Damn it! They're right there in front of me.
It's that fruit that's so low hanging.
That low hanging fruit. Even
it's just on the other side of the tree. You just couldn't see it.
Oh god, damn it!
Other side of the trunk.
I'm always so sad when I miss a really good bit of low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So ashamed of myself.
IU7 looks so bulky. Does not look like the latest model.
No, it doesn't. Definitely the older model. But okay, I like this idea.
Yeah.
Because I like if they address the idea that a robot had to develop an ego.
Mm-hmm.
And they could even call it out. And Ro could be like, it's a robot. How could he have an ego? And Zeta says, well, I have guilt and I have sympathy.
Yeah.
And we are programmed to understand humans. As a consequence of our programming, we start to develop these like complex conflicting emotions, like guilt, like ego, like all this other sort of stuff.
And it also makes sense because we know the guy who built Zeta doesn't work for the government anymore.
That's
so
true.
How could they have a new model?
Yeah.
Especially because no one in this universe has a brain.
Yes, except for Dr. Zelig.
Yeah,
we still haven't met.
Who's a ghost,
Yes.
apparently. So it makes so much more sense if this was the model before him, Zelig's first prototype.
Okay. I concur.
Mm-hmm. I think that would have made a much more interesting episode.
Kind of a bit of an experiment 625, experiment 626.
Exactly, like experiment 625, 626. But 625, that doesn't really work because 625 is the sandwich making one.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's the pink one?
Angel 624.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was legitimately trying to figure that out because, yet another tangent. Okay, because I was at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
This last Monday, you unfortunately were not able to join. We were down there again for more Star Wars land, and we were walking around Tomorrowland, and in one of the stores they had a whole bunch of Stitch stuff, including Angel.
Yes.
And I made a comment like, "Oh, I think is Angel the most prolific character to come from one of the TV shows."
In what sense?
In Disney, like, because you see, like, anytime there's a Stitch thing, there's almost always an Angel thing. Obviously, they want to have like, the guy girl situation going on there. They want to have stuff for the girls and stuff for the guys, and the boys and girls for every store. But she's pretty prolific, and a lot of the stuff that starts out on the Disney animated series never makes it a little more mainstream like that.
She's in 2 episodes of the cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah, and she blew up in popularity.
Yeah.
They never made a movie about her. There's no Leroy stuff. There's no Leroy and Stitch stuff. Leroy was Experiment 628. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole movie.
Okay. But I mean, am I right? Is she like one of the most prolific coming from a TV show and having such limited screen time? Is she one of the most prolific characters?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we don't see any like Jacques or Gus stuff from Cinderella. The 2 mice, super cute.
But they're in the movie.
Yeah. Okay. Then we'll go with that. We don't see anything with Ariel's daughter.
Yeah, well, of course not. It's Ariel's daughter. Who gives a shit? Who cares?
Or any of the other experiments who are so much cooler.
Well, yeah, but like again, that Disney still really loves to stick to their gender binary perspective.
That's very true. You know what would be really cool if they did? I'm surprised I didn't see this in Japan. I guess it's been too long since the show's been out. Because Japan loves their what are the capsule toys?
Okay, yeah.
If
like the little Kinder eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they just put in like a capsule machine that would just spit out, tiny versions of the other experiments.
It's probably too niche.
Now it is for sure.
I think even then it probably would have been a bit too niche.
Well, I think if the Stitch ride were still up, I think that would have been fine.
Oh, there was
a Stitch ride at Disney World, Magic Kingdom. It was like a show in Tomorrowland. I never got to see it because it shut down like a month before I got to Disney World last year.
I think I did see it.
Mm-hmm. Stitch's Great Escape.
Yeah, I seem to recall an animatronic Stitch rising up into his little chamber.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it though.
I heard it was bad.
I don't remember.
Heard it was real bad.
Well, it's a fun pseudo memory I just had there.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this, or should we move on to Westbound?
I have so many more thoughts on this. Let me see. Hacking the government, other infiltration units. Look at you, Ro. You learned something. That's pretty much everything I got.
All right.
Oh, the government. That's one of my things. Is Flores not Flores, DeFlore or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
DeFlores, yeah. Is totally nonchalant when the government is trying to kill him, but when he loses his stash, he's like, "Oh shit, my buyers want to kill me now."
Well, who's a more serious threat?
Probably the people. I mean, he might be selling this stuff to the government. We don't know.
That's true, and everyone's incompetent.
Yeah.
So that's right. The government, especially, is particularly incompetent, as we will see
In this next episode.
I
just don't want to talk about this one. I think this might be the worst one so far.
Look, it's pretty bad. The crux of the episode is Zeta.
How dumb can we make West look?
West is pretty fucking stupid, admittedly, and so Ro and Zeta are hiding out. They're discovered by Bennett. They escape via train, and West gets on the train with them. But he very quickly loses his robot detector, synthoid detector goggles, and he's determined to bring Zeta in himself. And so he goes around the train doing the poke test, essentially, to try and track them down. Now, this is further complicated by the fact that the energy couplings, whatever the fuck they are, that power the train, disrupt Zeta's optical
think
and
of the
holographic
magnets
sensors.
from Black Panther, all the train magnets.
Yes, it's very similar to that. Yeah, and so basically what happens, anytime they pass under one, he projects a hologram of the last thing that he saw.
Auto transforms.
Yes, exactly. And while that's going on, Bennett and the rest of the team are chasing after them in an even bigger, more conspicuous ship than the one they're normally in. And basically, they're catching up with the train. West thinks he's caught Zeta.
He did catch Zeta.
That's true, he did catch him.
And then he trips on a fucking chair.
Yes.
Falls on the bed, and
he bumps his head on a crate and passes out.
Yeah.
But not before he shoots a hole in the bottom of the train, which then destroys the magnetic coupling or whatever, and the train car's going haywire, and Zeta has to get Ro out of there and save West, and then Ro has to go back and save a dog, and
who she's seen just fucking petting for a few seconds.
I know.
Instead of trying to escape.
That's part of the problem with the show is that they don't do action very well.
No.
And I at least felt like in the last episode the action was done okay. And
I'd agree with that.
And there was a sense of stakes to it all the way through, whereas this really doesn't have it. And you get to that end, and Zeta's trying to rescue Ro from the other train car, and he extends his arms. They only go so far. She's not willing to jump to grab them, so then instead
hold on. They don't only go so far, because in the beginning of the show we see him reach probably 40 to 50 feet to grab a blimp.
Yes.
Okay, there's one. Let's say we forgot about that. So now we're back at the scene where he's trying to grab her. It's like, I can't reach any further. I'm sorry. Okay, let me reach a little further to the left and just grab the whole train car.
Yes.
And also, I'll extend my body to show you I can do that.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. But can't reach you. I'm sorry.
Maybe
It's so infuriating, Chris.
Maybe he's kind of like Roger Rabbit, who could only take off the handcuffs when in a moment it was funny.
When it's funny,
like Zeta can only overextend himself in a moment where it's really perilous.
Yeah, it was already perilous.
I know, but even more so.
It's so dumb, Chris.
I am aware. I'm aware of how dumb it is.
And then he jumps off onto another train that's going the other way, right?
No, it's going the same direction.
Okay,
but it's they're heading into the station, and look, it's bad.
It's so bad.
It's really dumb. The whole thing is basically just about how stupid West is, and Bennett even makes a comment about how I don't know what I'll do when I finally catch up with West, but there's never any resolution to that story. We never see any payoff of why Bennett or why West isn't fired. Mm-hmm. And so I think I have the answer.
Okay.
So we made a comment about this too, that we speculated that maybe he might be related to the Flash.
Yeah.
And Matt even sent me one of the Watchtower database videos where they're doing fan theories. Mm-hmm. So it's James and Ted talking about different fan theories. One of them, of course, being is Agent West related to Wally West. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot to go off of other than the same name, same voice actor, kind of similar
same
look.
hair color. Yeah.
So my thinking is that Agent West is Wally's nephew.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right? So I think what happened is at some point during the Flash's career, he saved the life of a NSA agent who then later went on to become like a department head, like a field
Bennett's boss.
Yeah, Bennett's boss. And so West is only there because his boss's boss is
indebted to the Flash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he can't fire West because he doesn't want to. I mean, the Flash is long gone at this point, but doesn't want to piss him off.
Yeah.
Get the nepotism going on. We got to keep him around.
Yeah.
This is my only answer I could possibly think of.
I mean, at the end of the episode, we did get like a little, not payoff in that sense, but payoff in the sense of like West is kind of understanding that Zeta isn't evil.
Yeah, he's like, oh, like how did I get off the train car? I don't know.
Yeah.
The dog must have saved me.
God, this fucking episode was so
Now,
bad. Sorry.
the motorcycle's back up again. I think I'm actually gonna cut this one out. Yeah,
Now you can't cut it out.
Oh my God, how long are you gonna idle? Just drive off. Just go away. Leave us in peace.
I don't think you can hear us over there, boys. There he goes.
When that episode came out, like it was a nonstop bit, the South Park episode.
Oh my God, yeah.
To the point where when I was still living at my frat house, my good friend at the time, housemate Kevin, was up in the front room, and we were both in the house, and a motorcycle went past me really loud, like, rah, rah, rah. And at the same time, we ran from opposite ends of the house towards each other, met in the middle, went, rah, 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 rah. Good times. But okay, so 2 points here. I thought there was some noteworthy things happening.
Were there?
There were.
Okay,
a couple
please
things.
enlighten me.
One, I thought Zeta's disguise escaping from Bennett initially was kind of clever. So they reach up and jump on the side of an advertisement blimp, and it's a sunscreen ad. And so Zeta takes on the shape of himself basically, but like super buff and shirtless. And then he holds up Ro, who's crouched down into a ball, and she looks like a beach ball. I thought that was actually kind of a clever.
It is nice to see them like extending his power, that now he can transform her as well.
Yeah.
As long as they're touching.
Yeah. That doesn't make any damn sense.
No.
But at least it's a little bit of a different thing. And then also I found that at one point Bennett actually made a good call.
Did he?
Yes.
By telling Wes not to do anything?
One, that, but two, it's rather than try and chase after Zeta while on the train, he's like, let's dispatch forces to the location they're going to. Let's intercept them there.
Yeah.
And then he subsequently makes many terrible decisions.
Fenton City?
Yes.
And then goes back on that plan?
Yes. Named after the Fentons, clearly, from...
Yeah, Danny Phantom.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, this show came out first, but let's headcanon that as being a thing.
I honestly paused the episode and Googled any connection between any of the writers and Butch Hartman. Couldn't find anything.
Couldn't find any. So, look, but I'll get those two little small bits of credit there. Also, we've learned more things about the future here. Mm-hmm. We have learned that newspapers still exist. Print newspapers.
Thank God.
Still a thing. We learned that there are over 20,000 channels in the future, at least when you're staying in a motel. That's a lot of channels. I feel like even now we're still only hovering around like a few hundred.
No, we have like 5,000.
Okay. It's not 20,000 though.
It's not 20, but we're not there yet.
That's true. In the future, we'll have 20,000 different streaming services we're all paying $5.99 for a month.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we learned that blimps still exist.
Thank God.
Yeah. I mean,
that was my big fear.
Yeah, I mean, I love that carries through because, I mean, there are basically almost no blimps in our real world, but in the world of Batman the Animated Series, blimps are a big deal. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad they're still there.
Well, it's because, I mean, it makes sense for that world then.
Yeah.
Well, how do you evolve a blimp? Like, what's the next stage of blimp technology? Just faster?
Collapsible blimps, like instant collapse, instant inflate blimps.
Yeah, what if it was what if you could do like personal blimps where it just kind of like comes from the roof of your car? And he's kind of like that's how we make hover cars.
Yeah,
they're all just blimps.
Blimp cars?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so on board.
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Like blimp lifts.
Oh yeah.
Like your blimp lift is here.
Mm-hmm. They throw a rope ladder down.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but a blimp pool.
No.
I don't want to share my blimp with anyone.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
It's my own private blimp.
Unless it's just everyone just hangs from the ladder.
And just like it's like hop on, hop off.
Yeah.
Blimp. I'm so down.
Yeah.
Let's just replace all public transit with hop on, hop off blimps.
Yeah.
We could catch a blimp down to Disneyland.
I think that'd be the best strategy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Can you imagine how magical that would be if you're like hanging out in Disneyland? There's just constantly blimps overhead.
Mm-hmm. And then, they would make the mirrors or the windows have it'd be a transparent LED screen, and so that as you're flying, you can see the characters like the flying characters fly next to you. So like you see Peter, Wendy, Michael, and
Yes.
George. No.
Peter, Wendy, Michael. Is it George?
I'm gonna go with George.
Is it George?
Yeah.
I remember the dog's name's Nana.
Nana.
Poor Nana.
Poor Nana.
Poor
It's George.
Nana.
Yeah. You see them flying next to you. And that could be really cool. You have Tinkerbell at night.
Yes.
Kind of like keeping the blimp afloat.
Disney, make blimps, please. Please do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they now have at Disney World, they have the Skyline system.
The what?
So it's basically a giant, like multi-mile. What are those? What are those things called?
Monorails.
Nope.
Buckets.
They used to have them in Disneyland years and years and years and years and years ago. Not People Mover, but the other one where you're in like a
cable car.
Yes, cable cars.
Yes.
There's a multi-mile cable car that connects basically all the hotels, to all of the parks now.
Wait, so are you saying that you can get around Disney World by land, sea, and air?
You can.
I want to go to Disney World.
Think of a magical thought.
Any little thought?
Any happy little thought.
Don't worry, I won't subject anyone else to my singing. Again. What else did I have? Oh, okay. I did have some more questions.
Okay.
All right. Shouldn't Zeta be able to understand colloquialisms and like turns of phrase?
Yes.
Because he's an infiltration robot. So he should be able to emulate human behavior. And even if that means being able to like pick up a phrase, even if he doesn't know what it means, be able to like dissect it via context and regurgitate it. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't he be able to do that as a really good infiltration robot?
Yes.
Okay.
But as we've learned, he's not a great infiltration robot.
No, he's not. Yeah, because he doesn't understand what the phrase like "stop and smell the roses," and apparently his olfactory senses, which why the hell would he need those? Bomb sniffing all makes sense now. Are in the top of his head, which also seems very impractical. Mm-hmm. Like
especially for bomb sniffing.
Yeah, like you would think he would be able to just like extend out like his hands and like smell things from a distance.
Yeah, the same way that the new Batman suit has the fingertip mics.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has all five sensory nodes in each finger.
Yes, that would make so much more sense.
Yes.
Oh, and then are Zeta's projections hard light constructs or not? It seems like they are sometimes they're not. So, for example, in the last episode, when he impersonates the daughter, Dominique, he kisses one of the guards in the cheek.
Yes.
So clearly, the guard must have felt the cheek. Or felt the kiss. Also, at a different point, Rose able to like grab Zeta's jacket and pull him.
Yeah, but that one we can't even talk. That one is just pure breaking canon.
Right. But because in this one, it's well established that they're not hard light because Wes can do the poke test.
Yeah.
Now, we never actually see him successfully conduct the poke test on Zeta. So it's totally possible.
Because we also see when he's smelling the roses, it's going through his nose.
Yes, exactly. So it's definitely not hard light. Well, then I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. Maybe
this is the line. I'm done with the show now.
You found the line?
You can't maintain
Thank
consistency
God.
based on your holographic constructs.
Thank God you finally found the line.
I'm out.
Yeah, good. You can come catch up to me. I'm about a mile past this line.
Yeah.
Taking my lift blimp. I'm just getting the fuck out of here.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other notes? Maybe at least one kind of positive thing in there somewhere?
Not for this episode. Let me see.
Okay.
Doesn't know. That's the last episode. He changes his hair to be an ugly clown hair.
Yes.
That's bad. She's petting the fucking dog. He can turn into non-humanoid things. That's interesting.
That's true. Yeah.
But not fully just the head.
I mean, I suppose if he got down on all fours, he could impersonate a dog.
I guess so.
Yeah.
We know he's and in the sense of being a spy robot, he has a very good vision because he can just see a woman in the shower in a town they're passing by.
Several hundred yards away.
Yeah.
At speed, no less.
Yeah. That fucking train moment when he's trying to grab onto her.
I know.
Is so infuriating.
I'm aware.
That one hurt me. This show is taking something from me. I don't know what it is.
Okay. So again, I will ask, I think, the most relevant question in regards to these episodes. For either one of them, do you feel they succeed as a kid's cartoon?
The former one, yes. It's
Okay.
the first one so far.
Okay. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. This, if you're targeting like 6-year-olds, sure.
Yeah.
Like if you're going for like the kids, like this is the show. This is the bridge show between like Nick Jr. and Nicktoons. Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of the. It's the introductory show to big kid cartoons.
Okay. Like middle grade fiction sort of situation.
Yeah.
That's fair. Oh, wait, I did have one more note.
Okay.
I thought it was quite fitting that when West is knocked out and he's like coming to and he's like doing some daydreaming, whatever bullshit, he sees himself as the vice president. Mm-hmm. Like even he is aware on some level that he's so stupid. The only possible role he could have would be the vice president of the United States.
Yes. Because it also does nothing.
Because it does nothing. You are just a purely useless ceremonial role.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's what he wants to be.
Yes. It's fantastic. Also, my speculation is that if we jump forward another 20, 25 years into this future,
he very much could well be.
He is the vice president.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd watch that show. I mean, I wouldn't, but
no.
Shall we?
That's all I have. Yeah.
Should we do some notes from friends then?
Please tell me someone has something to lift my spirits.
Well, I mean, I do want to sort of notes from friends / plug, but the guys over at 12th Level Intellect did a video about fan theories, including whether the Flash is the grandfather of Agent West, and also whether Mad Stan is Lockup's son.
Okay.
Which is kind of a fun idea.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not a lot to go off of in terms of like actual evidence there, but it's kind of a fun headcanon.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I did have a message from Ashley Clark. And Ashley, I want to apologize for not being super responsive. I've had a very busy week.
Your mom was in town.
My mom was in town. Yeah,
here.
It was super fun. She was here. The three of us went to go see the unofficial musical parody of 10 Things I Hate About You at the Rockwell, which
great.
Was fucking fantastic.
So fun.
Those shows are so damn funny. So that was spectacular. But yes, it was a rather hectic weekend. But Ashley did write in to say, Cameron needs to read The Long Halloween.
What? What are you talking about? Is
Holy
that a comic?
Shit. Along those lines, I'm hoping that if Matt Reeves' movie is taking anything from it, they focus more on the noir, gangster, and detective aspects. I always thought that The Dark Knight shortchanged us on that front. Also, it would be a way to get in multiple villains without becoming too Amazon Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, too. Mm-hmm. Also, in regards to the Batman, if they're having multiple villains, I hope it means they'll have some gimmick villain fun and it won't be bogged down with 12 origin stories. But she really wants that Long Halloween TV show the most, which is like kind of keep getting thrown around a little bit every once in a while. Or Public Enemies. But more importantly, Cameron!
What?
Read the fucking Long Halloween.
Is it a comic? I know, I own it. It's been sitting on my shelf.
Just read it.
For 7 years.
It's legitimately one of the best comics I've ever read in my entire life.
Yes.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
But then what are we going to talk about after?
I mean, you said the same thing about Hush.
Yeah.
And also New Frontier.
Yeah.
And was I wrong? Those are great comics.
They're pretty good comics, yeah.
So just read the fucking comic book.
Fine.
Here's what I'm going to say about this.
Okay.
If you also think Cameron needs to read The Long Halloween, not only should you write into it specifically, but you should message him directly on Instagram.
Nah.
Just say,
I'm gonna
read
do it.
The Long Halloween.
I'm going to do it. I'll get it in. Don't worry.
We're going to spam you until it happens.
Sure.
Oh no, I'm on board with this. Cameron, what's the one thing in this world I can commit to?
James Bond.
No. Even more so than James Bond.
Game nights.
No.
Lego.
Bits.
Bits.
I have no greater commitment in this world than to bits.
Yeah.
And this has now become a bit. Mm-hmm. So I hope you're prepared for this.
I'm ready.
I'm going to spam you so hard about this.
But the bit is the fact that I haven't read it. So in turn, by starting a new bit, you are killing a bit.
No. I'm going to bit so hard on this that you are going to yield. You're going to relent. Like,
no, I'm gonna read it.
It's either read The Long Halloween or death. You will pray for one or the other by the end of this.
Fine.
Yeah, I should read The Long Halloween. What are your plugs?
There was something that whole spiel reminded me of, and I'm trying to. I don't remember it anymore, but that's not important. My plugs are not very happy plugs, unfortunately. I did see Toy Story.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about it too much because you have yet to see it.
I have not. No.
Yes. Wow, does that movie just take everything from you?
It's a lot.
It's heavy.
It's an intense emotional experience.
Mm-hmm. I will say, as the movie was ending, I saw it by myself out by my office. By the end of the movie, I was curled in a ball, like leaning, is basically like lying down in my seat, hugging myself. So like, I just need someone to just like see like just the feel of human touch for a minute, just to know that there's people out there in the world. It's a rough ending.
You just need someone to just kind of curl up next to you and go, "Don't worry about a thing." Every little thing.
I was trying to shoehorn it into right. You've got a friend in me.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I just want an excuse to destroy more people's ears.
I would say the Randy Newman song in this one is so just like, Randy, what are you doing kind of song. I don't remember exactly what it's about, but it's about like the 20-30 minute mark, and it's very much kind of the Family Guy parody of Randy.
Yeah, it's like Randy Newman does Peter's theme song.
Yeah,
Walking down the street.
Yeah, it's very much that.
Yeah,
where it's like them driving because it's a road trip movie.
Yeah,
it's them driving, and it's like there's a tree, there's another tree on this open road. It's a tree, it's a bird with a tree and the bird on the open road. I'm like, oh my God, Randy, you really gave up on this one.
It's like Randy Newman's voice is like someone put a banjo in a dryer.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I mean, I kind of
every
like
now
it.
and then you get that beautiful note.
Yeah. I kind of like it every once in a while, I like me some Toy Story stuff. Mm-hmm. I like me some Meet the Parents.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Did he do
Monsters
I
Inc?
Love LA? Wasn't that his song too?
I have no idea.
I love LA. I think so, yeah.
And then my other plug is on Netflix. It's a movie that's been on my list for a while, and I very much regret watching it because it's another one that hurt so much. I'm not usually one for sad movies, but I was trying to get some work done last night, and I'm like, I'm just going to turn this on in the background. It's not a background film at all.
Okay.
It's a movie called A Silent Voice. It's an anime movie, won a bunch of awards a few years ago when it came out. But it's about a boy, man, I guess he's 18, having flashbacks to this girl he bullied in elementary school who was deaf. And him realizing everything they did was wrong, obviously. And everyone around him had kind of turned against him after this incident. And so the movie starts with him trying to commit suicide. And realizing that, no, he has to make things right with the deaf girl before he can go through with it.
Okay.
And Jesus, it's fucking heavy.
But I mean, is it good? Is the story
it's a great story.
Effective?
Yes.
It's emotion.
Yes,
like
it's
the
a
emotions
great
there, the
story.
message is good. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like the kid has given himself, the main character has given himself deep social anxiety.
Okay.
To the point where whenever you're in his point of view, everyone in the world has a giant X over their face because he can't look people in the eye.
Oh, wow.
And so it's almost like they're not there to him.
That's a really cool visualization of that.
Yeah, and so then once he kind of like makes a friend, you see, it never pans up to the face. It's still looking at the floor and you just see the X drop. And then the camera pans up and you can see the person's face. Yeah, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The story's great. But it's just like I finished it. It's a 2-hour movie. In the last 20 minutes, it gets real emotional. And so I'm not in my chair anymore. I'm sitting on a pillow on the floor, hiding behind my desk chair.
Yeah.
Just like peeking through to watch the rest of this film.
Oh my God.
'Cause I'm like, I can't do it. I can't finish this film.
Aww.
But I got through. It's a real, if you want to watch it, it's a real deep dive.
Yeah.
Deep dive. And then the last like 3 or 4 minutes, it pulls out of that head,
Okay.
that nosedive.
So, but it's worth watching?
I would say yes, it's worth watching.
Okay.
It's a very pretty film.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. It's a silent voice.
Yes.
Right? All right.
Mm-hmm. It's on Netflix.
Oh, look at you having all these emotional experiences.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it at all.
No, emotions are the worst. That's why I avoid them.
Yeah. I'm going to go switch to like a fucking... I'm going to go watch King of the Hill. That's the most just like emotionally like mellow show you can ask for. Yeah.
That's a fair compromise.
Yeah. What have you been watching, listening, reading?
I started watching The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Yes. Talking about shoehorning in a bunch of villains. I love the way Brave and the Bold sets it up, where it always starts with a villain.
Yeah.
It's like the end of a fight.
Exactly. It always starts in media res with him and a villain and one of the other heroes.
Mm-hmm.
One or two of the other heroes. It's a really fantastic show.
Yeah.
I was always kind of skeptical of it because it just looked very childish.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the opposite. It's really, really intelligent. The storytelling is super fast and super efficient. Because it's a little bit playful and a little bit meta, they're able to just go to really big places really quickly and just kind of play it off. Also, Aquaman.
Oh, he's outrageous.
Outrageous!
Have you met Buona Beast yet?
Yes.
Yes, he's the best one.
Yeah, who just like mashes up two random animals together.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so funny, and especially Aquaman. I love that John DiMaggio does the voice. I mean, John DiMaggio, very prolific voice actor. I'd say most famously known for being Bender.
Mm-hmm. Or Jake the dog from Adventure Time.
Okay, that too, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't watch that.
Neither do I, but that's probably more popular than Futurama now.
How dare you, sir?
I don't want to say it.
Oh, Futurama's so good. But anyways, that show is so incredibly fun, and
it's such a good intro to Blue, because I watched that obviously before Young Justice.
Yeah.
And the way they set up Blue Beetle made me so prepared for Young Justice's Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I mean, they had that great episode where they acknowledge what happened to the Ted Kord
Blue
Beetle,
yeah.
too, and no, I've been really, really impressed with it. It's kind of, it's a nice antidote in some ways to the DCAU, almost like a nice palate cleanser, where I think that the DCAU it can be very playful at times, but a kind of Zeta aside, it's always made with sort of a kind of sincereness and an earnestness, and it's pretty straight.
Yeah.
Whereas Brave and the Bold is super, super playful. It's completely episodic.
Yes.
So from what I've seen so far, there's really no
I don't think there's
continuity.
I don't think there's ever like a part 2 episode.
Yeah, it's just
except for character interactions. It's like when you
that's true.
Yeah, when you see the Aquaman episodes, those are kind of serial.
Yeah, exactly. Like his behavior plays consistent all the way through. Batman and Green Arrow always have some friction going on. There's a great episode with the two of them and Etrigan.
Yes,
and I love
Morgan Le
Etrigan.
Fay.
I love Etrigan.
Same.
And so I've been really, really impressed with the show. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you remember how hard I was plugging it when we first started the podcast?
Oh, I know. And then it just disappeared for a long time because it went off Netflix, and then now it's back up on DC Universe. Please send us money.
Yes, sponsored.
Yes,
sponsored by DC Universe.
Yes, please send us money. But no, it's really good. I also went and saw, and you'd be very proud of me, Princess Mononoke.
You did see Princess Mononoke.
I did.
That's anime.
It is kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
But I mean, it doesn't fall into the anime tropes that I despise.
And that still makes it anime.
But the hyperbolic nature that I don't like in a lot of anime is like in almost every single anime.
I listed like 6 in the beginning of this episode.
Do you know how quickly I forget things?
Yes. Anime is not. So here's the argument. Anime is not a genre like a lot of people say it is. Anime is its
It's
own
a
art
medium.
form.
Yes, I'm aware, but I would say that.
So how dare you bundle them all up
But
together?
I would say that there is a visual consistency to a lot of anime that often involves the very hyperbolic animation.
The stuff
style.
that makes it to America, yes. Because most of it is from shonen, battle anime.
God, okay.
You have your magic girls. But there's so many other genres.
Okay, fine. We'll call it anime. But
Your Lie in April is a great one. It's about a euphonium play. Not a euphonium. That's a different show.
Fuck the euphonium.
There's a whole.
Okay.
There's a whole.
No, hang on. My turn for a tangent. Okay. Fuck the euphonium. In the 6th grade, I tried to play the trumpet and I couldn't hit the high notes. So my goddamn music teacher, who was a huge bitch, I'm not the only one who ever said this, made me switch over to the euphonium. So fucking 6th grade Chris, so I'm 11-year-old Chris, is having to drag around this massive instrument that is 3/4 of my size and play it on the weekends. I fucking hate the euphonium.
Okay, well, I won't pitch the euphonium anime.
That
does exist.
No.
I will say there is a specific euphonium anime.
Well, that's great. I can appreciate the fact that anime has gotten so niche, but I've already had too much euphonium in my life.
That's fine.
All of the euphoniums can fuck off.
Mm-hmm. That's totally fine.
What were we talking about?
Anime.
Oh, Princess Mononoke.
Yes. What did you think of it?
It was lovely.
It's great, right?
Yes. No, it genuinely was. Like I have no idea what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think its mythology is very deep and very complicated and not always explained particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I wasn't sure what was going on and maybe what some of the character motivations were, I wasn't super bothered by it because I got the gist of it. And I basically just, if I had any questions, I basically just went, fuck, whatever, don't worry about that. Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I think the story is fantastic. That movie is
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The animation in that movie is truly breathtaking. Like, mostly through knowing you and our friendship, I've learned how challenging animation can be. Mm-hmm. And it made me appreciate how hard it must have been to animate that movie.
Yeah.
Also, it was made, 1997? 97, 99?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, I would never have guessed that. It holds up so well. And a lot of the messages, because it is essentially a movie about... Yeah. Saving the environment and protecting it and the dangers of industrialization. And, it's even more prescient now, I think, than it was when it was made. And I was...
Well, I mean, that's an undertone in almost all of Ghibli films.
Okay. That's good to know.
He's a very, very... So Ghibli is famous for his work ethic.
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki's famous for his work ethic, where he spends, 6 days a week, intense drawing, and because he still animates most of his scenes. Oh my God. He's still a key animator. And then on the 7th day,
he rests.
He does not rest.
Damn it.
He goes to the local river and cleans it out. Every week he cleans the river.
Oh my God.
He's such an environmentalist on such a beautiful, beautiful level.
Is he just like low key on Keanu Reeves level of amazing?
Probably. I mean, I don't know a lot about his work ethic. I think it wouldn't surprise me if he's like impossible to work with, but he's just like so giving to the world.
Yeah.
He's also tried to retire multiple times.
I remember that. Yeah.
But anytime he tries to retire, someone tries to make a movie without him and he goes, no, we're doing it my way.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this movie made me want to go watch more of his stuff.
Yeah. I can make a list for you.
Please do. Yeah.
Ponyo is great.
I know, our friend Jason has also offered to start watching some stuff with me because I know I was super impressed with the movie. I was impressed by his work. I want to go watch Mononoke again, and I definitely want to watch the rest of his stuff. And also the conditions in which I watched it weren't ideal. So it was over at Cinespia, which is when they project movies onto the side of one of the big buildings at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Yeah.
For those of you who are aghast at the idea, we're not sitting on top of people's graves. You needn't worry. But I mean, you're outside, it's cold, there's people walking around and milling about, but the sound quality is pretty good. And some of the screen is a little obscured, but, I was worried that I wouldn't enjoy it as much knowing I was seeing it in such a weird context, but I was still really, really impressed by it.
Mm-hmm. I assumed it was dubbed, right?
It was the dub, and it's a good dub.
Okay. Yeah. Gillian Jacobs.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gillian Anderson. Yes.
Not the one on
and Billy Crudup, who I have always really appreciated.
Who's that again?
He does the main character's voice and then he was Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Yeah, yeah.
He plays the son in Big Fish.
Still have not seen. Just it's on HBO. I just put it on my queue.
Nice. There was one more that was coming to mind. Oh, he plays another IMF agent in Mission Impossible 3.
Only one I haven't seen.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the second.
I thought I've heard that was the worst one.
It's the second worst one.
Okay.
I mean, 2 is bonkers.
2 I have no memory of. I know I've watched it. I just have no memory of it.
3 is good. It just and it sets the tone going forward, and there's a lot of key stuff that happens to it. But I mean, it's not as good as the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's not on par with the rest, but it's pretty solid. But I always like Billy Crudup. It's an all-star cast. Like fucking Billy Bob Thornton's in there.
Well, I mean, the dubbing is done through Disney.
Oh
yeah. So Disney has distribution rights over Ghibli.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Isn't that crazy?
sense. Oh wait, does that mean we'll ever maybe see Studio Ghibli stuff at Disneyland?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. But yeah, so I watched that, and the last plug I have is also a bit of a self plug because I watched. How dare you? What? What?
Thanks for listening, guys.
I'm sorry. After all the random tangents I allow,
You partook in most of them. Sorry, continue.
I watched Chasing Amy for the first time
Yeah, it's great.
recently. Yeah, I watched it for Gay
Part
Forward.
of the View Askew universe.
Yes, so I have seen of his work. I've seen Dogma, Clerks 2.
Have you not seen the original Clerks?
I've not seen the original
Wow,
Clerks.
it's worth a watch.
I do need to watch it. I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and now this.
So all you're missing is Clerks and
Mallrats.
Mallrats, which is my favorite one of the universe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard good things.
Stan Lee's in it.
That's true, as himself.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, because he's reading the Mallrats script in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But I was really, really impressed by the movie. So the way this all came about is, I mean, it's not an episode of Timm Talk if you don't mention Maddie Washburn.
Yes.
But Maddie was kind enough to also start listening to Gay It Forward, and he listened to an episode and posted on message on Twitter that another filmmaker he follows, Savannah Rogers, that she should come on to the podcast on Gay It Forward and talk about Chasing Amy, because Savannah is making a documentary about it called Chasing Amy. And Savannah immediately messaged me and was like, hey, let's make this happen. LA Local came over, recorded an episode with Jonathan and I. Was so much fun. Savannah's absolutely awesome. We went and grabbed drinks the next night. We're actually hanging out again the day this comes out. And I mean, not only was the podcast super fun getting to hang with her, but just I was really impressed by the movie. Like, I went into it thinking, okay, this was made in the 90s. The only thing I heard about it was, oh, it's a movie where Ben Affleck turns a lesbian straight. It is not that. It is actually so much more complicated than that. It's really ahead of its time in its portrayal of, like, bisexuality and pansexuality.
Yeah.
And I can totally understand the criticism, I'm sure, at the time was we finally got a lesbian on screen, and then she's not a tried and true lesbian. And
Because this is also a year after Ellen.
Yes. So there just wasn't a lot of good lesbian representation yet. And in the same way that, you know, if this were a gay male character in a similar sort of plot and there had been a lack of gay representation, which there was at the time as well, I could see where the backlash would come from.
There has to be a movie where a girl turns a guy straight. There's no way there's a 90s film where that isn't the plot.
That I'm aware of. I mean, in My Best Friend's Wedding, they pretend that Rupert Everett is straight, but I've never actually seen all of that movie.
I haven't seen
I should
it.
watch that at some point. Oh, Gay It Forward episode. I don't know. There must be that trope out there
There
somewhere.
has to
but
be.
I don't know. But I mean, at the same time, like, I think that feels a little bit less likely because pretty much almost all movies are about the guy getting the girl, not the other way around. And to be fair, I am not lumping.
Hey, now, George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah, I mean that's like Brendan Fraser at near peak hotness. Just the hair doesn't do it for me, but that body, perfect. But I'm not throwing Kevin Smith into that same group because you know his story actually has really fantastic portrayal of pansexuality, of kind of closeted homosexuality, about queer people of color. It's really, really fantastic.
That's awesome.
I was surprised by how little criticism I had of it at the end of the day. But yeah, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going to watch it. I think it's about to go off Netflix. So if you're going to watch it, get it in there soon. And then, maybe listen to an episode of Game Forward.
Feel like it.
Maybe if you got a little time, like, oh, like that was, a really good movie. I would love to hear some more from Chris about his thoughts on it. Go check out that episode of Game Forward. Also, it's worth it because, like I said, Savannah is super fantastic and worth listening to for that alone.
Yeah.
So, but yes, my self-plug, over and done with at this point.
No, I'm glad you plugged it. I'd forgotten you've done that. I forgot that's what you're plugging.
What other self-plug was I going to have?
I don't know.
I don't do anything else with my life. I podcast.
Self-plug. My mom was here.
Yeah. Self-plug. I bought a rabbit.
Bought a rabbit?
Some people out there will get that reference. I'm not going to elaborate further.
I mean, the white rabbit in the Matrix. I'm not going to go. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to find us, where can they find us, Chris?
But if you want to reach out to us, what was the thing we said up front? What was the thing we wanted to know? Oh, if you have a good suggestion for a Keanu Reeves MCU casting.
Yes, or DC casting.
Or DC casting. Yeah, absolutely. Reach out to us.
I'm very, very plugging for Etrigan.
I like that. I think that'd actually be a pretty good one. Yeah. If you concur, or if you have other ideas, you can find us at Timm Talk Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail.
Yes.
I am personally at Lordifer, where I will be posting. I have yet to do it, but some more stuff from Star Wars Land. I need to sit down and finally get all that curated stuff up there with some really fun photos. But yeah, that's all up on mine. And then if you want to tell Cameron that he needs to read Long Halloween, where can they find you, Cameron?
You can't. If you want to see my art, I'm about to post a new Disney video. You can find that at Cameron.Dexter. And if you want to see my face, which is incredibly
Cameron, there's no self-plugging on this podcast.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to see my incredibly sunburnt face and incredibly sunburnt everything.
Everything? Did you get the full body sunburn?
Almost.
Taint and all?
Almost. Not taint.
How small was the bathing suit you were wearing at the beach, Cameron?
Who said I was wearing a bathing suit?
Well done.
No normal size bathing suit. If you want to see,
you just brought a towel and some stirrups.
Yeah. You can find all those photos at Pornhub.Cameron at Instagram at
actually it would be an OnlyFans account.
A what?
OnlyFans.
I don't know that one.
Oh, does that not extend beyond the gays?
I don't know. I don't have a deep dive into the
it's basically
porn world, unfortunately.
OnlyFans is the new porn disruptor. So basically, maybe it's only the gays that do it, but a whole bunch of gay porn stars or Instagram models or whatever have started moving over to OnlyFans as a way to get their content out there.
Is that porn Patreon?
Basically, yeah. Like
nice.
you just sign up to do like monthly contributions to their account, and they have it tiered out, so they'll send you different things.
So it's porn Patreon.
It's porn Patreon. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
I much prefer the name porn Patreon.
I agree. Let's go with porn Patreon. But other than your porn Patreon account, where are your Instagrams?
You can find other things at CamDexter_adventures.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we will be back next week with yet more Zeta.
Oh boy.
Cannot wait. It's gonna be great.
Sure. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.